Picture this, you're running a UK design agency, spending £8,000 a month on Adobe, AWS, Google Ads, all US dollar subscriptions. Your current business card charges you 2.99% on every transaction. That's £240 a month, vanishing into foreign exchange fees, nearly £3,000 a year. Now imagine a card that charges you 0 on FX, gives you 1% cash back on all card spend, and here's the kicker, actually works at your local suppliers who won't touch American Express. That card exists, but here's what most business owners miss. Capital on Tap has two versions, and picking the right one is the difference between a good deal and a great one. I'm Chris Farman, and if you're spending more than £20,000 a year on business expenses, this Capital on Tap review might be worth a couple of £1,000s to you. So let's cut through the marketing and look at the actual math behind the free tier and pro tier. Capital on Tap free tier review. Right, the foundation. Capital on Tap standard card, completely free. No annual fees, does three things that decimate the old school business card market. First, 0 foreign exchange fees. Not low fees, 0. When Barclaycard and most high street banks are hitting you with 2.99%, this alone can save a software heavy business £200 to £300 monthly. Second, 1% cash back on all card spend, uncapped. No minimum spend threshold like Barclaycards, spend over £2,000 or get nothing rule. Spend £500, get £5. Spend £50,000, get £500. Third, it's a Visa. This is a game changer. You can finally ditch the acceptance anxiety. That B2B supplier who sneered at Amex, sorted. Your local builder's merchant, no problem. You're getting rewards on spend that previously earned you, well, nothing. Now, the Capital on Tap points system is deliberately simple. Every pound spent equals 1 point, and 1 point equals 1 penny. So if you spend £10,000, you've got 10,000 points sitting there, worth a guaranteed £100 minimum as cash back to your account. But, and this is important, if you want to convert those points to airline miles on the free tier, it's a 10:8 ratio for both Avios and Virgin points. So those 10,000 points become 8,000 miles, not 10,000. The message Capital on Tap is sending here is pretty clear. The free tier is optimized for cashback users. If airline miles are part of your strategy, the pro tier starts to make more sense. But we'll get to that. For most smaller businesses, stop here. The free tier is already better than 90% of what is out there. You're winning on acceptance, FX, and cashback. The pro tier. Who actually needs it? Now, the Capital on Tap Pro tier costs £299 a year, and honestly, for the right business, this is where the real value is unlocked. So let's do the math. Camp 1, the frequent flyer. You get unlimited priority pass lounge access, not for additional card holders, just you, the main card holder. But here's the value. A single priority pass membership costs around £300 annually. If you bought it separately, use it 10 times a year, you've broken even on the annual fee before considering any other benefit. And you get guest passes too, so you can bring colleagues or family into the lounge with you. The second perk, your points now convert at 1-1 to multiple airline programs. You can convert instantly to the British Airways Club or Qatar Airways Privilege Club or Virgin Points, all at that full 1-1 rate. And here's where it gets interesting. A one-way business class ticket from London to Doha in Q Suite on Qatar Airways, widely considered the world's best business class, starts from 43,000 Avios off-peak. If you're eyeing a trip across the Atlantic, you can fly business class from London to New York with British Airways, starting at 88,000 Avos, plus £199.50 off-peak. Now, if you prefer Virgin Atlantic, you've got that option too. Virgin points open up upper class redemptions to New York starting from 47,500 points one way. You'll need to pay for taxes, fees, and charges in cash. But paying for flights with points can still get you great deals on travel. You can also convert to Radisson Rewards points for hotel stays, and as a Pro card holder, you automatically get Radisson Rewards VIP status. That's priority check-in, room upgrades when available, free breakfast for two, and much more. Now, I've seen business owners on Reddit describe this exact redemption. One guy paid £40,000 in supplier invoices over a year on the Pro card, transferred the points to Qatar, and flew his family to Singapore in Q suites. His words: felt like I'd hacked the system, but it's completely legitimate. With point devaluations creeping into most airline schemes, earning faster at 1-1 helps you stay ahead of the curve rather than chasing lost value. Now, if you travel for work or you're using business profits to fund personal travel, the Pro tier isn't a cost, it's an investment vehicle. Camp 2, the preloader. Capital on Tap lets you preload the card, basically moving your own cash onto it, pushing your balance negative. Why would you do this? Well, two reasons. Buying power beyond your credit limit, and on the Pro tier, preloaded spends earns 1.25% instead of 1%. So if you're a business sitting on £50,000 in your current account, earning, well, sod all, and you've got a big supplier invoice to pay, you can preload that cash, pay the invoice, and pocket an extra £625. Now, before you get excited, compare that to a business savings account paying 3 to 4% interest. You've earned £1,500 to £2,000, just leaving it in the savings. So, preloading only makes sense if you're immediately spending the cash, not storing it. That said, Capital on Tap also offers its own high-yield savings account, powered by Clearbank, and you can pay your credit balance directly from your savings, which keeps everything in one place. But if you're regularly cycling through large payments, let's say £120,000 a year, preloaded and spent, you've just earned an extra £300 over the base rate, which covers your annual fee. Camp 3, the sign-up bonus hunter. Year 1 only, spend £5,000 in 3 months, get 10,000 bonus points. That's £100 value, or 10,000 AVOS. Combined with the lounge access, you're effectively getting the first year cheaper than free if you were planning to buy Priority Pass anyway. Now, there are significant operational perks to consider too. If you're a first-time Xero user, the 6 months of free accounting software represents a massive saving for your back office. When you stack the bonus points, the software savings, and the premium support, the cost of the tier essentially evaporates. Bottom line on Pro, if you're not traveling and your business rarely pushes over 50k a year in card spend, the free tier delivers everything you need. But if you fall into the frequent flyer or high spend camps, the Pro tier pays for itself multiple times over. The competitive reality check. Now let's talk about the competition. A lot of people default to the Amex Business Gold, but there's a massive hidden cost there. Acceptance and FX fees. Amex still hits you with a 2.99% fee on every non-sterling transaction. If you're paying for AWS or Google Ads in dollars, you're losing nearly 3% of your spend just for the privilege of using the card. Capital on Tap gives you that 1% back plus 0 FX fees, which is a 4% swing in your favor. Then you have the Barclays Card Select Cashback. On paper, it offers 1% back, but there's a catch. You have to spend over £2,000 in a statement month just to trigger it. Spend £1,999, you get 0. And again, you're hit with those 2.99% FX fees. And don't even get me started on Tide Max, which costs nearly £1,000 a year for only 0.5% cashback. The math just doesn't work for 99% of businesses. What you need to know before applying, the fine print that actually matters. Right, a few practical things that will help you get the most from this card without any surprises. Strict eligibility requirements. Capital on Tap is built for SMEs, but they have very specific criteria. To apply, your business must be an active private limited company or limited liability partnership registered with Companies House. Additionally, you must be an active director or a majority shareholder with at least 25% ownership. You must be a UK resident and your business must have a UK bank account. Crucially, they do not support sole traders, charities, or dormant companies at this time. HMRC payments need careful math. Yes, technically you can pay VAT or corporation tax on the card to hit a spending threshold, but HMRC charges around 1.85 to 2.5% to process card payments. You're earning 1% back. That's a net loss. Don't do it unless you're specifically chasing a sign-up bonus and you've done the math. Tax complexity on personal redemptions. If you're using business points for a personal holiday, HMRC could technically view that as a taxable benefit in kind. The safest route, redeem as cashback directly to your business account. If you want the flights, talk to your accountant first. So, here's the decision tree. Small businesses under 50k annual spend, start with the free tier. It's a no-brainer. Zero cost, zero FX fees, 1% back on everything. Just take it. Medium businesses spending 50k to 150k with no travel plans, upgrade to Pro. At this volume, the cashback alone covers your costs, turning your overhead into a revenue stream. Between the dedicated priority support and the sleek metal card, you're buying back your time and leveling up your brand's professional image in one move. Business owners who travel or high-spend operations using preloading. The Pro tier is legitimately excellent value. The lounge access alone justifies the cost, and the one-to-one conversion to Avios, Virgin Points or Radisson Rewards opens up genuinely luxury travel redemptions. And look, I get it. You're busy running a business, not optimizing card portfolios. But if you're spending £100,000 plus on business expenses and you're not capturing that value back, you're leaving real money on the table. Now, I put a full breakdown in the description, including the current sign-up offers and a comparison spreadsheet against Amex and Barclays card. Now, quick question for the comments. Are you currently using a business credit card that charges FX fees, or have you already made the switch? Now, I'm curious how many of you are still getting stung by those 2.99% charges. And if you do want more straight talking breakdowns on business finance tools that actually matter, not the theoretical stuff, the real world math, hit subscribe. I'm Chris Farman, this is Business Expert, and I'll see you next week with more insights that will actually save you money.